With the arrival of the TDX XTB event, there's been a lot more lore presented for us to see. So much in fact that I feel confident enough to make a full and complete timeline of the events of TDX now. This will be a combination of most of mine and Rogue Ordinary's theories, or at least everything that can be supported by evidence in the game. Hopefully going forward, the community can use this as a rock for more future theories. So without further ado, please be sure to like and subscribe, and let's jump into it. So like all good stories, this one begins in Hell, where many terrifying demonic creatures reside. We have reason to believe that there are 3, or possibly even more than that, as a recent teaser implies, but as of now we know of 2, the Void and the Calamity, both of whom are incredibly similar, but are not the same being. Both are represented by symbols in the map Scorched Passage, these being the mark of the Calamity and what I like to call the Void Heart. Get it? It's a Deep Woken reference. These demons appear into the world via summoning, and it seems that someone, somewhere, summoned the Void into the real world at some point, as seen on the Limbo map. This leads us to the year 2024, the year that the Tower Battles event takes place. We know this because this was the year the Substitute Commander was created and added to the original game. But of course, since the skin isn't public in the original game, and that most people wouldn't consider skins canon, the event would have had to have taken place in 2021, the year that Toxics were added to the game. Regardless, the argument is irrelevant. What year is not really important at all. But what's more important to note is that by this point in time, the GDA is already founded, led by the Commander. This is pretty interesting, but it makes sense, as the world would indeed be united by something like, say, a demonic alien god starting the apocalypse. In the event, when the multipliers appear, Commander mistakes them for another kind of mystery, and that, quote, Xenon never informed them about their existence. We know from previous events that Xenon is behind many of the technologies used by the GDA and the enemies alike, such as the multipliers themselves. We know that at this point, she is yet to discover the Calamity Rock, and Dr. M is most likely still alive. How do we know? Well, this is a bit of a mini-theory, but I believe that Dr. M is actually the creator of the Z Tower, because inscribed into the sides of the unit is a marking of its variation, such as the M1, M2, etc. It's probably her putting her first initial signature, the same way her partner Xenon loves to mark stuff she's made on with a red X. And before someone makes the argument that the M thing on the Z was a thing in Tower Battles before the update, you know what else was already in the original TB game? M. So I think it's fine, but whatever. I said all this to establish exactly what time period we are in here, and what's going on. Rogue Ordinary theorizes that at this point Dr. Xenon is working for the GDA, but is actively sabotaging them for whatever reason, and I'm inclined to agree. This is a partnership that is still a secret, because when the Void does tell the player that someone is helping him destroy the GDA, he doesn't mention her name, only saying she, although it's obvious that he's referring to Xenon, but they would have no way of knowing that back then. After the Void's defeat, the GDA continues with Xenon as a lead scientist, as she goes on to create the Golden Tower's armor, as well as the Eradicator cyborgs, while secretly planning her betrayal. At some point, we know that she and the Eradicators and the other robotic creatures rebelled and broke off from the GDA and began to control the zombies, now leaderless after the Void's defeat. At some point, she also got the Calamity Rock and summoned him in order to power her predators and other robots, as seen with their red abilities. Although there is the implication that the Golden Towers also run off the power of the Calamity Crystals, as their weapons run off of the same red crystals. Anyways, the game modes mostly play out as normal, including the Christmas event and other things. However, eventually the Void Heart, as I'm calling it, returns in the present day. Whether Xenon or another summoned it is unknown, but the players fly into the Void Heart in order to stop the Void in the past, presumably preventing him from invading the present. We win, obviously, and as for now, that's about where the story and lore ends. And that's really it for this video. It's kind of short because I have a lot of things that I'm working on in the background because I'm trying to get caught up because I was on break for a bit, but yeah. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.